Everybody hang tight. I was just teasing you. We're not starting just yet, but just give us a couple more minutes and Ladies Talk will be live. Gotta do a mic check. She is so much
Yes, they are.
she is so much fun. I don't want to hear that. I don't even.
I see Missy. I see Doc. I don't see Nikki. No. You gotta you, you gotta make it bigger, girl. She's like nope. You have. And we're talking about making it bigger. Girl, I don't know. Wait, okay, you got a pan. Well, no, but if she does that, then it cuts you off. Come here, girl. Come here, girl. There we go. I'm not trying to get my toaster oven yet, Nikki. I'm graduating. I'm getting a microwave. Tell
Crystal's not in it. Oh, it's because
good.
she's not sitting in the chair. Yeah.
Where's Crystal, friend? He's like, this is my Friday, y'all. I was trying to get stuff done.
We didn't stay out there long though. I was Snapchatting in the pool and Ashley's like, okay. I did get a promotion and I did get
Yay!
now the
Sweet.
because you've only followed the song.
Not even
Oh really?
3 or 4, yeah.
Oh hell.
Yeah, you should have went to AutoZone about a year ago.
I know. And
Just
when the
saying.
district manager,
Okay. Then of course you will. Have faith in you, girl. Which one? Scruples or not taboo? Oh, yes, I remember that.
She was up there. That kind of stuff.
Well, all of that runs in Scotty's family, though.
That's after we left. How many margaritas? It was ridiculous. We were just like,
right? 'Cause-
Stuart says.
okay, so my mic sounds nice. Check
Hello.
You
one.
sound nice, Doc. You sound sexy and stuff.
Here we go.
I hear you,
I
Missy.
see the
Hello,
green.
hello, hello.
All right, Nikki, are you there?
Does it work?
It does work.
Yay.
Okay, and y'all know that you have the what are these called?
Pop
These are
filters.
gates.
Oh, gates.
Gates. So just remember, if you're back here, they're not going to hear
Right.
you. You have to get up on
You
it.
gotta get up on it.
You got to
girl.
get up on it. Nikki don't have that problem. Sometimes I I didn't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, sometimes I wish I could take it off. Just never mind. Let's just go live now. Whoever's watching.
Hey,
Hello, hello, hello. Hi, ladies. Everybody say
Hello,
hi.
hello.
Hey, ladies.
Oh, I didn't know. Were we live now?
We are live now.
Okay.
We have been talking so much. You're listening to Ladies Talk on Just for Fun Radio. We are fashionably late because that's just what we do. But we're here and we made it. So everybody do me a huge favor and go ahead, if you don't mind, and go to all your social media pages and share, and ask everybody to come join us because tonight's going to be a great show. Because in the studio, I have the lovely Missy.
Hello.
And I have the beautiful Nikki. I call her Nikki Styles.
Hi,
Sticking to
everyone.
that. And of course, Doc is in the box.
Doc is in the box. I'm back for the
Thank-
night.
Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. Or me and everybody who's listening. Thank you for joining us. We have Stephanie who's out on.
And I got her seat.
She's
So if you're
busy.
listening, I'm not on the ball, but I am in your seat.
But she's still on the ball though, because she's all over it.
Right.
And we're drinking your wine too, Stephanie, just for the record.
Oh,
Yep. And Ashley is mommy duty. She's doing the cheerleader thing. Gosh, I don't know how she does that.
ugh, she stays busy, doesn't she? Bless her heart.
Ashley is she is something, what would you call her? She's like a director over cheer for the county.
Oh,
Holy
wow.
smokes,
So she
Batman.
handles every single cheer bow and uniform and she
Mm.
directs all of it. I mean, she handles all the coaches. You go to her house this time of year and it looks like a I don't know, some like cheerleaders have just exploded in there. I
Like
don't even
Cheer
know how to-
Central.
It's crazy. It really is. Like she has this one room to where she makes all the bows and she's amazing. I don't know how she does it. I really don't know how she does it. And I can't find the mouse for this thing. It's driving me nuts over here. If y'all wonder what I'm doing, I'm over here just rolling the ball, acting really, really weird. But we missed last week. I don't even know what we were doing. We were busy.
Well, last week was graduation. So
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
the
what we
day
were
before
doing.
Yeah,
How
that's
could
what we
I
were doing.
not?
Woo.
Let me tell you, I was so I don't mean glad to have that to be over. I don't mean it.
I
See the
know.
eye you're giving me. I don't mean that. I'm just saying like as moms, we all know whenever we're going through things like that with our kids, what a job it is. I mean, just think of planning just a birthday party for a 1-year-old or 2-year-old, how hard it is.
Yeah.
And Missy, you were amazing because she's like, whatever I can do, just let me know.
You didn't need anything though.
You know, I didn't ask for anything. I probably could. I probably should have.
You should have.
Yeah, you should have.
I just don't. I'm just not that person. I just don't. And I kind of thought certain people that showed up would help. And I'm not talking about Doc. I'm talking about a sperm donor.
Oh,
Gosh,
you should have known better
damn.
than that.
Really? He
Yeah.
doesn't do anything. He has not done anything in like.
And so you thought he
forever.
was going to do it Friday night?
Right.
No,
Well, he
he
put
won't.
chips out.
Exactly.
He put chips
He
out.
made that point very, very clear. He put chips out.
He
He
put
said that.
chips
That's.
out.
I think that's one of the last things he said when he was leaving. Hey, I put chips out.
I did one
Oh,
thing. I
good.
need praise for it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Wow.
so we were going to do it at 5 initially, and why my daughter thought she okay. My daughter, just I'm gonna rewind just a little bit for listeners. My daughter got her own place about a month or two ago. And she got a new job the same day, the job she was wanting. And we had everybody thinking maybe it was a little something else because we left it as a big surprise. And I was doing that to mess with her dad, which he's so lame, you know, he doesn't get anything. So anyway, I should say sperm donor because I hate calling him her dad. But
If
anyway,
he doesn't deserve the title, don't give it to him.
he really doesn't.
He really doesn't.
He really doesn't. You would just have to know him. I don't even know how I made it 6 years. I really, really don't. I'm going. Thank God for his mom and his sister because they were absolutely amazing people. But he is miserable and never live with somebody who is miserable with themselves. Because I'm just going to go ahead and tell you,
Oh, I've
you
been
will
there.
never be happy.
Never.
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 Nothing you can do is going to make them happy. You can try everything in the book, but until they are happy with who they are, and he's one of those that stands in this glass house and he throws stones at everyone. And he'll stand there drunk as a pirate and judge you for drinking. I'm like, really? You've been here since 3:30 today at my daughter's house. He got there at 3:30 and he was downstairs with the neighbor pounding beers until we got there and then stood up there with a snide. I can just see the look and it's disgusting. This look on his face, just judging everybody there. Like he was so much better. I want to go get in the car that was giving to you and
Right.
go
Or
live
go
with
back
your
downstairs and hide your drinking, whatever.
Anyway,
Oh.
that's enough. He's got enough airtime. I won't even say his name.
But your mom was awesome.
My mother was awesome. I was
Yeah,
so
I love me
glad.
some Miss Becky. Miss Becky
It takes a
rocks.
lot for my mom to get up and go in these days because my mom partied really, 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 really hard for like 45 years. And so, and I'm so proud of her because she's been clean and sober for, um, God, 13, 14 years now.
Yay, that's
That's
great.
Yay.
My mom has, which she'll tell the story. It's not like I'm telling her business, but my mom was crystal meth was the drug of choice for her from the time she was a young teenager
Wow.
until the time she was 40. Uh, yeah, 40 years, 45 years old, 45 years old. And she finally gave it up. And she battled it on and off for about 6 years. Like she'd do good for a couple of years and then she'd go back to it and that kind of stuff. But anyway, the moral of the story is she's clean, but
Yay.
she did a lot of damage to her body. So now, in order for her to get up and get going, is like, it's like when I seen her there before me, I don't know how many times I told her, like, thank you, mom, so much. I can't believe you beat me here. That never happens.
So she's doing better since her surgery and everything.
She's trying. She is trying. Back surgery is tough.
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if I don't know that I've ever met anyone that's had back surgery. I probably shouldn't say this because there may be someone out there who's contemplating it or needing it. And I would never want to push them one way or another, but back surgery is tough.
I have
to
never
heal.
heard
is
a good
very
thing
tough.
about that.
I'd had my own personal experience, and it was the worst decision I ever made.
Yep.
I still hurt to this day.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, they say, and everyone that I know that's had it has never just had one. They end up having to have another one. And I'm just going. And with my mom, what happened is that the fusion and everything worked, but then the first one, the screws broke. That was a disaster
wow.
all along. So 6 or 7 years later, they do it again. And now the fusion works. So her back is straighter, but she has sciatic nerves that are pinched on
Ow.
both sides.
They did tell me when I had mine, because I had surgery on my L5, they did tell me that it could affect the upper part of the vertebrae and you would eventually need to have it again.
Yep.
And the bad thing about that was with her being clean and sober is she's got to be on pain medication for that. So that has got to be a tough thing, a really
Well,
tough thing.
in her words, she
So-
feels like sometimes the street drugs were easier to beat than the prescription drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That and cigarettes. She cannot beat a cigarette. The woman has emphysema and everything else, and she smokes. She takes her oxygen off, smokes cigarettes. No lie. No lie. I'm like, Mom, but I just try to love her through it because what else can you do? You can sit there and just spend every minute that you have with them nagging and
It's
complaining,
not going to change it.
or you can she knows how I feel about it. So,
Well, let me tell y'all something real quick before we get started. I got to bring my dad home on the 15th.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh.
Yeah, we
yay.
went in for the appointment, and they gave us a 40% chance of him coming out of this bone marrow transplant. Um, as a healthy 61-year-old. Now that he was then a two-time cancer survivor, so that cut it in half to 20%, and he beat it.
That's awesome.
He beat it. He is a miracle walking, and he's at home. I said, when can I take him? When can I take him home? Then the doctor, the head of the the clinic down there says, you can take him home today. You would not believe how fast I can pack up an apartment. I was like, let's go. So I brought them home and they're home now. And, he's not feeling, he still can't be around crowds and he's still on a lot of medication that has to be for the, because of the transplant. But
Mhm.
he is absolutely he's home with his dogs in his bed and around Landon, his grandson, my nephew. And that in itself,
It's got to make him feel better. I
does,
mean,
it
that would make
does.
me feel better.
So, I mean, if those out there that don't believe in miracles, let me tell you, look up Charlie Dunn on Facebook and read some of the stuff that he's been through, because it's absolutely I had him a shirt made. I think I texted to you, Crystal. I had him a Superman shirt made because I kept telling him the whole time, you are Superman. And as a friend of mine made him a shirt and said, yeah, there he is, and said, it says on the back, my superpowers are I beat cancer 2001, 2010, 2016. So it's so awesome.
That's pretty
He
amazing.
he is a miracle. He really is. He is a great guy, and God wants him here for a reason.
Oh yeah.
That's right. That is so amazing. And I know as a family, I
Ah.
know he's been through a lot personally, but everything that the family goes through during times like that is
We were displaced since April, and in an apartment, in
so
Atlanta.
now what does it feel like? I mean, you kind of have
I
your
don't-
life back. Do you even know
I
what
don't
to
know
do
what to
anymore?
do with. I don't know what to do with it. I don't. I'm like, okay, I've got to find another job, and I need to, and then I keep thinking, well, I've got to take him to this appointment, but I'm like, oh, it's not every day anymore. What do I do with myself?
Yep.
So yeah, and my mom is feeling the same way too. She's just kind of like crash and burn, and of course we're still, watching him so close that
Well, he still needs a lot of supervision.
definitely.
And yeah.
he has to go. We still have to go once a week to Northside, and he has to be checked out there. But he has a great doctor here in Conyers. Dr. Richard Carter is a oncologist here.
Thank
and
God he has a Conyers doctor.
He
You don't have
does,
to go all
and
the way
he-
to Atlanta all the time.
he was the head of the transplant team at Emory for a few years before he started his practice here at Atlanta Cancer Care. And I happened to run into him 2 weeks ago at Northside, and it was like seeing an old friend. And he was like, just so you know, I've got red blood and I've got platelets. So, let Dr. Bashi, let him go and he can just come see me. And I'm like, oh, I love you so much. I just love you so much. That 15-minute drive beats that hour and a half drive in traffic any day. So
Sweet. Well, that's awesome news. I'm just glad that you have that to share this week. And Doc, do you have anything that you want to share
yes,
this
she
week?
does.
I do. Well, let's see. Monday night, I did the Republican meeting in Porterdale, and that was incredible. I got to talk about Tears Free, got to make some really good connections. And next Monday, I will be going to New Rock Academy in Covington, and we are very hopeful that they're going to pick up the whole curriculum.
Yay.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, y'all send up some good vibes.
Definitely.
They would be foolish not to, because I just feel like that is such a it's an added bonus for them, for their community, and for them to be able to say they offer that.
Yes.
I mean, I have a really, really good feeling about it, and so I will definitely be praying. And I would say I'll try to be there, but I'm not saying that anymore. Just not saying that anymore. I was gonna go this time. There was just a little bit of miscommunication, and it worked out exactly the way it was supposed to. So it's okay.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous though, because it's like usually when I go places like that, I either have Crystal or Scotty with me, and I was by myself.
She did it.
And I
And
did it.
this is, and I hope you don't mind me sharing the story, but I have to because it cracked me up a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
So everybody that knows Doc, and if you've been any part of Just for Fun Radio, then you all know Doc. Okay. So this isn't a secret, and Doc is amazing. And she stepped way out of her comfort zone. Okay. And she went, this was a Republican meeting that she went to. And I texted her, like, are you okay? She is a very well educated, number one, standing there all by herself, black female. And she's standing there. She walks into the business it was kind of hosting, and they were like, ma'am, sorry, we're already kind of closed. We're not serving sandwiches anymore, because clearly,
Oh, wow, they actually said that.
clearly she was out, just not really out of place as far as if she was coming in there to eat or have a sandwich. She'd have been fine right there. turns out she was fine anyway. But
Yeah.
needless to say, the guy that was speaking to her at the time had no idea that she was there for their meeting. And then she's like, "Yeah, I'm Dr. Mabry." He's like, "Oh, you're Dr. Mabry." So it all kind of came around then. But I was just picturing this. I was just picturing Doc sitting there in the middle of a whole bunch of Republican white
Yeah.
men, and then she had to sit there in the middle of all of it and listen to she got to experience the whole experience. So
Ugh.
I
and
really
she
did.
it
Yeah.
was good for her, and I'm sure it was good for them too. So anyway, it was a great outcome, and she met some good people along the way. So I really wish I could have been there just for that part.
I just wish I could have seen their faces when you said who you were. I,
Oh.
They were very, very nice. So because whenever I go in places, I'm not, I don't go up immediately and like I'm Dr. Mabry. It was just I kind of walked in and I was looking around because I'm taking inventory of the room.
I watched movies and everything with you before I knew you were Dr. Mabry. I was like, "What the hell?
because I
How'd you
don't
get him
tell
in this
people.
circle?" The only thing
Rescuing a
I knew was
dog.
the lesbian was here. I had no idea that it was Dr. Mabry.
Rescuing a
I
dog.
know it was like Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
It
I
was.
hear that song every morning.
Paw
Oh,
Patrol,
does she
Paw
like Paw
Patrol.
Patrol? I just wish
Yes.
Bailey would like something besides Mickey Mouse.
She will.
She
Toodles.
will.
Hot dog, hot
Hot
diggity
diggity
dog.
dog. Yeah.
Shelby
Yeah.
is all about some Paw Patrol. We have one movie that she watches every night when she goes to bed, and we just keep her TV on just to keep her entertained or whatever, just so she can have some noise to sleep through the night.
Right.
And that's the first thing I hear every morning.
That is so
Paw
cute. And
Patrol.
can I just tell you
Paw Patrol.
how quick Shelby has grown up? Oh my gosh.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
She is just like getting so tall, and she's a little Nikki is what she is, but
She
she's
will
absolutely
be-
gorgeous.
She will actually be 4 in 3 months.
I seen the picture, I think it was yesterday that you posted. Maybe she was getting ready to go to school or something.
Oh
And
yeah.
you were claiming that she could be like a little handful or whatever. I was like, look at that kid. You could just tell she looks
She's
like a little
perfect.
sweet little angel.
She likes to pretend. She can put on a good show.
But that's good. She's learning early.
Yeah.
Did she go?
That
Did
she
she ever
is.
go through and get over the SpongeBob stage?
I
Because
don't-
Landon's at that now.
I don't really ever think she was too much into SpongeBob.
My nephew Landon, he'll be 2 in November, and oh my goodness, Bum Bob,
Yep.
Bum Bob. He actually sleeps with a Bum Bob.
Yeah. Niles went through that. I think that's more of a boy thing because we went through first we went through Little Einstein.
Yeah.
I love
And-
that show.
I'm going on the trip on my favorite rocket ship. Yeah. We did Little Einsteins. Then it was SpongeBob. Then it was what was the other? Oh, Teletubbies. Somehow he discovered the
Oh.
old Teletubbies. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought it was bad enough when I went through it with my daughter.
Right.
And now 6 years later, I'm going through it again. I'm like, oh my God. But yeah.
My kids were Barney. Barney.
Yeah.
Yes,
the-
Barney
I
was a
love
dinosaur.
you. I mean, I knew all of the Barney songs.
Clean up,
Everybody, everywhere. We still sing that. I mean, we still sing that. And then there's a tree in a hole
Yeah.
or something like that.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's the longest song. It feels like it goes
Yeah.
on and on. But it's so cute though.
Yeah, my oldest godson, Dustin, he was a big. Oh Lord, he's 14 now, but he was a big Barney fan. And
Mhm.
I guess I've taken that with all the children that I have raised, that cleanup song. So it just goes on through kid, through kid, through kid. It works though.
It does. It
does
really
work.
does.
I'll have to try that because I try to get Shelby to clean up her mess, and her thing is always, well, it makes me tired,
Oh,
or it's just too hard. I can't do it by myself. I'm like,
can't
you
do it
made
by
the mess by yourself. Why can't you clean it up by yourself? But I didn't do it alone. So I think she has this little imaginary friend
Oh.
that
Oh.
kind of influences
you
her
said
a
she's
little bit.
4.
She will be
She'll
4.
be 4.
Yeah,
Yeah, she probably
that's-
has
yeah.
one. I had one. His name was Jones, and he broke up with me at the Waffle House. So whatever. You know.
That's too funny.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was like 5, and I had him till I was like 5.
I'm not gonna put any names out there, but talk about I'm sorry. I was reading something. That's what Scotty does when he's on the show in the mornings, and it drives me nuts when I'm listening because he'll be like, but he's better at it than I am. Um,
'Cause he
we'll,
does
we'll
it
be
every
getting the
day.
call in at about 8 o'clock for the whole Dr. Love thing, by the way.
Oh,
But
yay.
what was I talking about? Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Hell.
Butterfly.
Somebody. Oh, about the imaginary friend.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to allude to who it was, but just recently I know of someone who has a 7-year-old, and this 7-year-old has had an imaginary friend since she was like 2, but this is extremely creepy. So, warning. And I was like, listening to everything, and they have videoed this child doing this. Okay. But she would talk to the friend, and they were like, "Who are you talking to?" And she would say, "The little girl who cries blood."
Oh wow.
Okay, so, and that went on, for several years. Well, now the little girl's 7, and the little girl has um a little brother now, a baby brother. And the little brother was crying and crying and crying in the crib, and the little girl's just standing there, kind of staring at him or whatever. And they said that, like, typically she is like the sweetest little girl, like you would never see any of this coming. And she turned and she looks at the mom and she says, "I can make him stop crying." And she was like, "Why do you say that or how or whatever?" And she said, "You just put your hands around his neck."
Oh
And the
wow.
mama said, "What makes you say that?" And she was like, "Because that's what the little girl that cries blood said."
Oh,
Oh,
righty then.
And
wow.
then they recorded her telling her mom. She also apparently supposedly sees someone in people's mouth, like a face. Whenever people are talking to her, she sees something in people, like a eyes or something in people's mouth. And she is a man. And she told her mama that she didn't want to have to kill her, but if she didn't, then he was. And I was like,
Oh my god.
and they videoed all the stuff of this little girl, and they took the little girl, and of course had her, decided at
Evaluated,
that
yeah.
point because they're having to worry about fear for the baby and that kind of stuff. But if you
Right.
see this little girl, she's beautiful and she's completely normal, all like 99.9% of the time. But the video that they showed of this little girl, like she's quoting things she would never know on her own. She would never know some of that. I mean, it's like
Even
she's
from TV or
no,
anything like that.
no, like this is like she's saying like some sort of scripture. It almost sounds like something out of a Bible or something, but it's like thou shalt die,
Oh,
blah
that's
blah blah blah
creepy,
blah. It was
Crystal.
like really, really it's like something you'd watch in a horror movie, but it's
Yeah.
real. And I was going, oh my gosh.
Wow.
So anyway, I was talking to someone else who's familiar with stuff like that, and they said that um the last thing they need to do was to medicate that child
Yeah.
because she needs to understand that she has control and medication
Mhm.
will make them lose control. I'm going, she's 7. She's 7. And a lot of times of course I went like many of us would do and started reading like what would cause this. And there's so many different things, and it says like a lot of times it's from trauma or whatever,
Mhm.
but I don't know. You just never know. The mom is a very good mother, and she just can't see where there was ever any time at all to where something tragic could happen to the kid. So she don't even know what's going on. And so they are literally leaning towards like some sort of getting a priest or somebody to talk to this child. And I'm like, I don't even know what I would do in a situation like that. I guess because I've never had to deal with it.
My brother, when he was 6, is when my parents put him on Adderall and Ritalin and everything because he was diagnosed with ADD, ADHD at that young of an age.
It's so horrible to put
And see,
kids on
my
meds at that age,
son
though.
was
But
Girl, I had 2 because, my son was 6 or 7 whenever he started, ADD, ADHD medications, but that's because the school said I was medically neglecting him, and if
mhm.
I didn't, they called defects and stuff on me, so he started very young, but there was nothing like that. He did do some off the wall stuff, but
Mhm.
nothing to that extent. Nothing to where I had to worry about him hurting anyone or really
Right.
himself. It was just like some off the wall bizarre stuff that I was like, "I can't believe that kid just did that."
Wow.
And some things they'd videoed at school, and I'm like, "No, that was my kid."
That wasn't my kid.
Whatever. But, he outgrew those kind of things anyway, but I don't know. Talking about imaginary friends, sorry, I didn't mean to, like, change the subject completely, but I just, like, this is something that just happened, like, several days ago, and I heard about it, and then I seen all this, and I'm like, "Oh, wow." So,
Well, they say children can see spirits.
Yeah.
Children and
well, I know
dogs.
an adult that I've talked to, and I trust in this person, and this person says that all of his life he has a particular something that he has always been able to see, and he still sees it to this day. But the thing is, he never really talks about it to anyone because he knows that people would think he's crazy
Right.
and they would feel that exact same way. But he also knows that he is in control. Like
Mhm,
he's in
mhm.
control. And so he was the one that was like, I'd like to sit down with this little girl because she's just too young to understand.
Really,
And
yeah.
you know what the reasoning is, I mean, is larger than probably any of us sitting in this room
Right.
or listening. But at the same time, I mean, good Lord, as a mom, I can't imagine what she's going through. And she has a new baby too. So, but yeah.
It kind of creeps me out sometimes because Shelby will carry on a full blown conversation with what I can only assume is herself. But the other day she was walking out of her bedroom and she's like, "I told you to leave me alone." And I'm like, "Who are you talking to?" Nobody. Like
See?
that's just
And I think it's normal for kids to have imaginary
Yeah.
friends. I think all kids at some point do have imaginary friends. Like
Mhm.
I played with baby dolls and I think I thought they were my friends. And even Zaylee now, like, could be over there her kitchen
Just a talking.
just a
Yeah.
talking or whatever. And I pray that's just she's talking to Minnie Mouse because that's just the way it
This
is.
house has some
Oh,
interesting
hush.
attributes.
No, please don't
It
tell me she's talking to grandma. I cannot handle
Yeah.
it.
There's a spirit in this.
yeah,
I
there's
know.
yeah.
I
I
can feel it
understand.
completely.
Look,
Oh my
today
gosh. So one night, Crystal and I were down here doing ladies talk, and
it was bad.
Scotty had gone to work Hooters night or something. So I was like, and I'm real funny because I used to come in the morning with Scotty, and it would just be me and Scotty, and I'm like, this is I
Mm.
don't know about this, my home slice. So Crystal and I were down here, and we literally heard someone walking upstairs. There's nobody there. And then we both looked and we saw a figure go across from there to there. And I was like, okay, it's time to call the show. I'm packing up. I'm leaving you. And
You're
I
And it was
literally,
out.
really cold that night down here
yes.
too. Like we had blankets down here
It-
and we could not focus for anything. I
no.
mean, it just seemed like every time we turned around something was happening. Finally we were like, all right, everybody, we're calling it a night. We're out. And we couldn't get up those steps quick enough.
No.
We were like, whoom. And I think Scotty came back and I kind of left everything going and everything. I was like, I don't even know what's down there, but we're not going down there.
Yeah, I mean, it was like we could not, the temperature in this room would not get warm that night. It was incredibly cold.
It was. I mean, I had a blanket and everything. I'm like, what the hell? And we were trying to drink, but we didn't even,
We didn't even drink.
it was too cold to
Yeah,
drink
it was too cold
anything.
to drink
So we
anything.
knew it wasn't the alcohol.
Mm-mm.
We could not blame it on the
I
alcohol.
have felt those things all my life. I can walk into a house and know if there's something
I
there,
just
whether
ignore
it's
them.
good.
I choose not
You
to
choose it. Well,
recognize that
see,
crap.
I guess I don't. I mean, I guess I'm like, okay, it's a good one or a bad one, and then go on with it. But um, my granny, my great granny, and maybe that's part of it. My mother's always said, well, that's just granny doing something. She things would be knocked off. She hated for my dad to put hats on the dresser, and
Mhm.
literally you would watch them
Mm.
fall off. And so, I mean, all my life, I've just seen that stuff, and I feel it. Like, and I felt it the first time, and I was back in April when I came here and did the morning show. I walked in, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So it's
Yes.
funny you say that. I would never tell you that other than
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
there's definitely things
Yeah.
happen here. I know that it's grandma and I just want to believe it's grandma and not granddaddy and not Ricky and not any of them other people because I don't know. I just feel comfortable knowing it's grandma. So
Well,
I'm
it
gonna stick to
probably
that.
is because nothing's bad has happened, right?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, she just wants to let you know she's here, I guess.
But the other day Scotty had left for something. He had left early whenever they went to the thing at Lake Oconee.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was still in the bed, and he always locks Bella up. Always locks Bella up. He never leaves me because she always gets out whenever I lock her up. So he always locks her up. So I didn't think nothing about it. And I'm laying there, I'm kind of comfortable, and all of a sudden I hear something, and I'm like, it's okay. Like a floor squeaking. And then I kind of roll back over, and I hear it again. And at that time, I'm thinking, gun. I ain't
Right.
even lying. I'm like, I'm gonna tell you what, just because that bus just left, whatever, you come in here. It is not gonna be pretty. And then all of a sudden it was Bella. But what she does is she was just easing down the hallway, like close to our bedroom, down the hall to the left. She was she was like close to the hallway, and I was like, "What in the world is that?" So I got up, and it was Bella. I was like, I wanted to just scream. I mean, it was not a good feeling because I don't like to be scared. I do not like to be scared, but more than I wasn't thinking even ghost. I was thinking some idiot
Right.
around
I
us.
don't like to be scared either.
Nope. And
Just That's a
just
control thing too, though.
yeah,
You
I
know.
don't want to be scared. I'm
I
good.
want to be. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Well,
Don't
I'm good.
don't scare me. But today I was out there vacuuming the pool, and I'm up on the ledge walking around, because there's not a deck yet. So I'm up
Oh,
on the edge,
that's
walking in circles. But you
Oh
got the
my
pole to kind of hold yourself on. Not that I'm used to a pole.
I was gonna say. I mean, that's
Well,
give me some
anyway,
experience.
I
Anyway.
was Scotty and Mike had said bye and they had left, and every time I turned around, I swear I kept feeling like somebody was
Watching you.
Watching.
like gonna walk up or something, and I was just over paranoid. And I looked up at the window and I'm like, please don't let me see anything in that window upstairs because I would die. But we've got the guy that the lady who lives next door to us.
Hmm.
We've now discovered that she's single and she kind of pretty much works from home, but she's got a brother that's staying over there with her, I mean. And he walked over here the other day, and I don't know why, but I was just thinking, and he's been over there for months, by the way. And he let us know that he sits out on his back porch and can hear everything over here.
Alrighty.
All
Then.
righty
So that was
then.
kind of creepy. Because I don't know how long, like I'll go in not best room, but Zaylee's room, and that's where I work out. That's where I change clothes. Because on that side of the house, there's really not any windows or anything.
Right.
And there's never really been anybody over there. But now I'm
Now
thinking
there
he's over
is.
here sitting on that porch all the time, drinking up, because you could just tell, like,
You
he
could
was a
tell.
nice guy. But for some reason, I was just
He's a
thinking,
nice guy. It's a creep. Yeah.
I was
There's
just
nothing
thinking,
wrong
I'm
with
going to,
that.
like a horror movie, I'm going to turn around and he's going to be standing there. No, Scotty's not home. No, I don't need any help. Anyway, we probably should have got his name so I could call him by.
Yeah, probably.
He's
Or
going
we
to come
just
over here
started.
and cook everything on the grill for us next time we have a cookout, he said, because he knows how to man a
Ah,
grill.
Alrighty.
Oh, okay.
Right then. He was pretty nice.
We'll get us some black bean burgers. So, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay. We'll make a couple of black bean burgers
Yeah.
for the vegetarian.
there might
I
be
don't
some
know.
other vegetarians in the crowd.
I
You
don't know
never
how you're
know.
doing that, Doc. I just don't know how.
All
you're
right,
doing
everybody. I got a little bit of news. Dr. Love will be calling in. I don't know how many of you that are listening have been following the Facebook post, but we're going to implement a new segment here on Ladies Talk each week. We're going to have the one and only Just for Fun Radio's Dr. Love call in, and he's going to answer questions that you all submit. We had overwhelming response whenever we shared the post of questions for Dr. Love, and I have submitted those to him. So we're going to see what all he has to say. He's going to call in around 8 o'clock. So before we have to do all of that, let's take a quick break and pay some bills because, that's what keeps us going around here. And everybody stay tuned. You're listening to Ladies Talk on Just for Fun Radio. But our show is so much shorter than well, that's what Scott said. He's like, it's okay.
Oh.
I had made the joke that we could have made it ask Dr. Love or Twisted Sister. Maybe get a female to answer, like, it
Oh,
has
that
to be
would be
like,
I would
cool.
so
Good
be
idea.
the Twisted Sister.
yeah, it would be like a female that's just going to give them a point blank, that different point of view. So this is just a test, of course, to see how it goes. I think it's going to be.
So you've had a lot of people call.
I've had several people text or private message me. Nobody wants anybody to know this is the question they're asking, so they're not going to post it on Facebook. But I thought it was kind of cool, and I think he's just going to stick to this one particular tonight because it's covering a lot of different things, and that way we can all chime in and give our own advice as well, and then maybe next week just kind of go from there. So.
That's a good idea.
Uh-huh.
Shelby jumped on my back last night and like literally on my head. She was standing on the back of the couch and she came down full force on top of my head. And like everything got jarred. I feel like I have a whiplash and everything went black. And as soon as Tim, yeah, as soon as Tim saw it, he was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" Everything went black. And now, like in my shoulders and like right at the base of my neck, everything hurts.
That's not good. Most likely that she hit a nerve.
Hit a nerve. Yeah. Pinched it somehow.
Should I open up another?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Here. Let me just down this so you can.
This commercials have already played. Thank God there's a cheat sheet in here.
And Shelby.
Oh, is Shelby up
Mhm.
there? Oh, they're playing.
We used the sponsor today. We used the Pampered Puppy.
How much for, I mean, are they?
Tara is really good.
Because I need to take Emma, a little, parent terrier. I need to have her.
Yeah, Lucy is dog aggressive, and but Lucy gets really nervous around dogs. So it's like the aggression comes from her nervousness.
Yes, ma'am.
And
Sure.
but Tara has always been phenomenal with her.
Well, that's, Emma's 14, and she's been through a lot. She's been through 2 divorces, and then now a new daddy. So yeah, she's been through a lot.
Yes, she's been through a lot.
So she, when I go to drop her off anywhere,
She
just
gets separation
shakes.
anxiety.
Yeah, shakes and just cries. So
Yeah, you need
trying to
Tara.
find it, yeah. Need somebody that'll work with her. The
You-
last place I took her to said that she snapped and they had to muzzle her. I don't like that because Bama's not one. that
She
you have to
snapped
muzzle.
because they were not
They
were
weren't
not
paying
kind
good
to her.
attention or something.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a Moscato.
That thing looks awesome.
Yeah, that was my present. Yeah.
Cool.
Look, I give power tools, Nikki.
I was like, what is this?
It was either that or the song controlled vibrator, and then he said I could not give Chris a little vibrator.
It was the phone control.
Yeah.
And you could download an app to it.
Yes.
So I was like, Mom, what's wrong with her giving me that?
And it looks so fun.
Except for you could probably get anybody to download the app. I could tell a story about something similar to that, but I won't because YouTube is good. So leave it alone.
I had plans for that app. Keep telling y'all I'm trying to get the toaster oven this year. Oh, I met Jack from Turn and Burn at Janice's event at Costly Mills. That place is incredible. Oh my,
Yes, it's gorgeous.
oh my jeepers! I want to get married there.
Okay, stop. We have got to plan my wedding before somebody
You
else
have to hurry
takes,
up.
yeah, an idea. We've got to plan my
Also,
wedding.
Bill, but it is,
Ah, dog.
it depends.
What?
I've
I
been
need to
to
get
a few
married
weddings.
again.
Well, then we could do a double wedding. I'm cool with that.
Oh my
Doc,
God,
you
that would be
cannot
so-
say you're getting married again. Why'd you just say that?
Because I need to renew my vows. I want to renew my vows every 2 years.
You could do it cool
Oh.
like we did and go to the Kiss Step
Oh,
Leppard
that
concert and
was-
have Scotty do it.
That was pretty out. Look, Scotty renewed Tubby and Nikki's vows right in the middle of
Pour
a
some sugar
concert.
on me.
Yeah. True story.
What song was playing?
Pour some sugar on me.
Pour some sugar.
Mhm.
There you go.
And what
The
was it
ultimate
that you
stripper
lost?
song.
We were looking for something. It was an earring or a
Probably my tongue ring.
tongue ring or something.
Because it was like plastic or something, and I a bad habit of like chewing
We're going back live. We'll
on
have
my
to tell
jaw
this
or
story.
whatever. Oh, and you remember where
And we are back live telling
Story.
stories because that's what ladies do. We were talking about renewing vows because the doc was saying that she went to Costly Mill Park in
Yeah.
Conyers and how beautiful it was. And then Missy says we have got to get on the ball planning her
Oh, we
wedding
have to.
because everybody keeps stealing her ideas. And then we were talking about the renewal of Nikki and Tubby's vows, which was so much fun.
yes, that was definitely a night.
Yep. They actually Scotty renewed their vows right in the middle of a Def Leppard and Kiss concert, and we were saying that "Pour Some Sugar on Me" was playing, and I was frantically helping Nikki try to find her tongue ring. Now, let me just ask us, now that we can think clearly, what were we going to do with it after we found it? Because
Obviously, it was very important at that moment that
Well,
you had.
I think I had just gotten my tongue pierced,
Oh, so you don't want to.
and I was like, "Oh no, my hole's gonna close." And
we were in the field, though. I mean, like, this was an outdoor concert, and there were thousands of people there, and we're like, I just remember it became a focus for us for
I
quite a
really
few
don't.
minutes.
I really don't even remember what we were looking for. Oh, it might have been the little vape pen.
Oh, it could have been. It could have been. I just remember we were looking for something, and I think the guys got a little bit aggravated with us at that point.
It
We
was.
pre-partied. It was
It
so
was
much
important
fun.
to y'all.
It was. We've got pictures in the bathroom.
Yes.
That's when I was the human
You were
bathroom
the door.
because it didn't have a door.
There was no door in the bathroom stall,
Yep. But
so we had to take turns being a door so nobody could see. But I mean,
you got to do what you got to do. And those bathroom lines, if you've ever been to Lakewood,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
just take the first
Mhm.
thing you can get.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, you do.
You gotta go. You gotta go. I love Lakewood though. I've seen Kid Rock there, of course, Kiss and Def Leppard, and I really enjoyed Blake Shelton there. Blake Shelton was really good. Me and Scotty
love me
slow
some Blake.
danced to Only God. No, God gave
God,
me
give
you.
me- Yeah.
To that, and we've seen Kid Rock there twice, and it was so much fun. I'm a huge Kid Rock fan, so
I love Kid Rock too.
me too. And
And
every
I love
single
that
song.
new song the Johnny. I want to be your Johnny Cash.
Yes.
Oh, love it.
That's my honey plays that song for me like a few times a week, and I love it. Like in the mornings, if I get up and he's playing Kid Rock, I know it's that kind of morning.
Aw.
It's pretty
Aw.
cool. Yep. If you haven't heard it already, the whole Johnny Cash song by
It
Kid
is
Rock is
great.
amazing, and I'm sure it's on here. So I'll just go ahead and find it and have it ready to play after we all done, so I can hear it. But anyway, with that being said, what else were we talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know. Look, squirrel.
Squirrel. We're all squirrels.
Four
We're all
ladies.
squirrels
Four
today.
ladies in a room, and nobody knows what to say.
I just got a picture of Shelby and Zaylee playing together. It is
Oh,
the
they are so
sweetest
cute up
thing.
there. I had to run upstairs to get
Yeah.
a wine opener. I mean, I was gonna lie to y'all.
It just didn't happen, did it?
But I'm not a very good liar. I mean, just to be honest with you, I typically do not tell stories very well. I can tell stories, I just can't lie.
That's true. That is
I'm
so
so
true.
obvious when I lie. I don't know what my tell is, but I mean, it's obvious like to anybody that's close to me. So I need to like have somebody tell me what my tell is. But
You got to work on your.
Everybody has one. My ex-husband did this. Like sniffed every time. Every time.
every time I
And
lie.
I mean, and then it got to the point where I would be like, do you just always lie? Because every single thing you say, you do that. And I'm telling you, now that he's my ex, I know he was lying every time.
Mm.
Yep. Because I would hear him telling lies to other people.
Yeah.
And that's how I figured out what it was. And so then whenever he would start telling
Ah.
me lies, I would hear it and I'm like, aha, I know you're
Kevin
lying.
gets a different tone in his voice. I can tell. I mean, I can tell when he's lying, but not yet. Not to me. Maybe he figured out the tone to stick with me. But when he's on the phone with somebody, I can hear that lie. I mean, it's like he drops down to a lower bass level or something to
He
make it
picks
more.
up that Barry White voice.
Yeah, to make
That's
it more
funny.
believable or something. I don't know.
I wonder
Because
what
I'm just
mine
sitting there
is.
like, why are you lying? Why are you lying?
Trying to figure out what mine is.
You don't have one because
I don't like you, Doc.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry,
What'd I
you're
do?
stuck with me.
I did something. Did you see it? My
Yeah.
ears wiggle or anything? I have headphones on.
You blinked a bunch of times.
I blinked a bunch of times. There you go.
Yeah.
Repetitive blinking. So if y'all see me triple blinking at you,
Did
I'm not batting my eyes at you. I'm lying to your ass.
You mean so all those times that you were batting your eyes, that really wasn't,
Oh gosh, no, don't even go there.
you know?
I just told you I don't lie well. I bat my eyes when I lie. I was fluttering them at you. I
You
was
were
not
fluttering
batting them.
Oh, okay, that's
think-
what it was.
Okay, that was a good save.
So,
So, go
hey,
ahead.
look, we were going to talk about fall traditions.
Oh yeah, I want to know where
Oh,
this pumpkin patch
yes.
is because I
Okay.
want to take Landon there this year.
So it's actually Henry County where the kids can go and they can pick their own pumpkins.
So fun.
We
Yeah.
all need to go on
We
a
need-
pumpkin patch field trip
I
because we
wanna
got to make
do.
jack-o'-lanterns anyway.
I want to
Yeah.
go to that corn maze,
Corn dogs.
corn dogs.
What
Thank
is
you.
That place
Yes.
is awesome.
I haven't been there yet. No. Oh, yes, I have. But I only did the haunted house part of it. I haven't done and I don't even know if they do the haunted house anymore, but I haven't done the maze.
Yeah.
I think now it's only the maze.
Oh, okay.
Lord, I have a hard enough time getting out of my house. I don't know if I could do a corn maze.
That thing is huge. Did you see how they're doing
Yeah.
the field this year, the maze? Last year it was Duck Dynasty. I remember seeing that. And now this year it has something to do with blue lines, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
I want to do that, and then I want to go apple picking. Have y'all done that before with the
Mm-mm.
Do you
kids?
just shake the tree?
No, that's kind of the.
Shake a tree.
Oh
That-
no.
That's,
What do you got
You're,
to-
you're
you-
thinking Steve Miller Band.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that's what you did to pick apples. What do you do? I mean, I guess you got to climb up there and pick them. Because aren't apple trees like really big?
Well, some of them are, but
And-
if you go to an apple orchard, they have different sizes so that kids can also get in on it. And then you pick the apples, and
They have fun size apple trees.
Yeah.
Because I'm short.
they have dock size apple trees.
Yay.
And then I also want to do the National Fair in Perry.
Now, I've never been there, and that is something that has obviously been a tradition for many, many people.
I've only been there once, and that was when I was in high school for FFA.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Nikki, you're only like 22 now, right? 21? Yeah. She's like a
Maybe
baby.
19.
She hasn't.
28.
20.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, see
that's
there.
19.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
still 19.
she's such a
Yeah.
baby.
Oh
And
my
like, I mean,
goodness.
she talks about high school like it was so long ago. Is it
It-
you that posted your?
My high school
Reunion?
reunion's
I
coming up in
seen the
October.
year, and I was like,
What
somebody
year,
smack
wait,
her.
what year was your high school reunion?
It's going to be
Everybody
this
stuck-
year.
everybody
10
hold your
year,
seats.
It's 06.
Wow.
And she said 10 years. So whenever she said that, I was like, oh, 6. Hell, that means mine was how long ago?
Me too,
I don't
honey,
even want to
22.
talk about it. Oh my God.
You were graduating from high school, and I was graduating with my second doctorate.
Oh,
Wow. Oh my gosh. I mean, oh, where's the time go?
I don't know where it goes.
I have no
I
idea.
mean, I just turned around one day and I was 40, and I'm just
Me
like,
too.
really?
Yep. Once 30 came around, that was it. I promise
was
you. I don't
yes,
even
yeah.
remember 31, 32, 33. And now you
It's
know,
like we
I'm
just
20
woke up.
again, and I don't even know how that happened.
Right?
But dear
Yeah.
God, time really does fly by. 30 years, when I turned 30, I had to work and kids and stuff. So it really didn't bother me too bad. But then all of a sudden I was 34. And then I was 35, but I've always hung around with people who's older than me, so I didn't
Mhm.
feel so bad. But
Right.
now all of a sudden people younger than me are
Right.
like all up in my stuff. And I'm like,
Gone 'em
how
old.
the hell did this happen? All of a sudden, no,
I'm the
person.
old person.
Yeah. I've got Ashley Skinner, she's really close to me. And of course, Nikki's sitting here claiming she's 28. We really know she's about 22. And then I've got Zach, who is one of my best friends. He's 25.
Oh, good Lord.
Gosh, go
Oh,
to Six
wow.
Flags with somebody like that.
No.
That will make you feel like, I ain't
I
even
would be
lying.
sitting there. Okay, y'all text me when you're done. I'll meet you here.
oh my gosh, by the end of the day, and I had to act like, I got this, like I got this.
Mhm.
And I did. I made it, but I'm not even lying to you when I said there were so many times like, I wanted to say, sit down. And it was so hot that day. It was hell of a hot. And I kept up. I don't know how I did, but I did.
How was the next 2 days after that trip?
We
though?
found a bar.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, there you go.
That's
That's how
you
you
get
kept
that.
up.
And I was like, I'll buy you a few drinks. How about that? I'm just
That'll slow
kidding.
you down.
Yeah. But surprisingly enough, I did make it. But yeah, you hang out with somebody who's 15 years your age, just in a hot environment like that, you really do.
You
realize
feel it.
how Yep,
Yeah.
yep, it's
So
okay.
the pumpkin patch is in Henry County.
It's in Henry County.
We do need to make a field trip and do that and take.
I would love to and take Zaylee.
Take
Yeah,
Zaylee,
And we
take
could
yeah.
take like the
Landon.
kids
Yeah.
and the families and make it a family
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be pretty awesome.
And if we get enough of us going that that are committed to it, we get a group discount rate.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
I wonder how much the fees are anyway. I'm just going to look it up just so we can share that information with our listeners. And maybe I'll share the address and stuff like that too, because those kind of things, like, I wish that growing up I would have had more traditions like that.
Mhm.
We did things, don't get me wrong, but whenever I hear families talk about how there's particular things they do every year, like Scotty's Aunt Pam, the first day of school every year. Now she has a house full of 5 girls. 5 girls.
Oh, bless her heart.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh.
but they have a tea party every first day of school, and they all sit on their porch, and they have it all set up, and they all pour tea. And now her youngest kid, I mean, like, she has a child in college, and even she comes home for the tea party.
Oh wow.
So they
Oh.
like post pictures of them all doing the tea party. But things like that, I just think, I don't know. I mean, that's priceless.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. We have so many traditions in our family that my mother has just kept on and on. And even when I lived in Indiana with, my stepkids and stuff, I took those traditions to them.
Mhm.
And, now that I'm back here and they're not my stepchildren anymore, they're still my children.
Right.
They'll text me or inbox me. Oh, I sure wish you were here to, make spaghetti on Christmas Eve, which has been a tradition in my family for decades. My grandparents one night were going when my parents were little to see their parents, and the only place open was an Italian restaurant. So they
Oh,
stopped and
wow.
had spaghetti. So we have ate spaghetti on Christmas Eve. I mean, for 40 years, I know, and I guess it's been longer than that for my mom and my uncle, and even my cousins that live out of state. They'll always call my Mimi Gann's house, and they will say, "We're having spaghetti," so stuff like that.
Aw.
And yeah, my stepchildren, they will be like, "Oh, it's Christmas Eve. I wish you were here to make spaghetti," and I'm like, "Oh, well, at least I gave them that, and hopefully, maybe they'll take that to their children."
Right.
You know.
One thing that randomly started with Tubby and I was we were hungry one night. I believe it was Christmas night. So the only place open, of course, was
Waffle
Waffle
House.
House.
Chinese.
Oh,
Oh,
Chinese.
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 Oh,
There you go.
wow.
So now our tradition is Chinese.
That's
Well, that's
pretty
kind of
cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have said Waffle House because I remember one year having to go to the Waffle House because that was really the only thing open. I
Yeah.
didn't think about Chinese though.
And my mom and dad went for a few years, for about 5 years, when we go to see our biological father and my grandmother, my sperm donor. He would, yeah, they would go and they would sit. It was on Covington Highway, and they would sit. My grandmother lived off Covington Highway. And they'd go sit at the Waffle House and eat till it was time to come pick us back up. So sometimes I'm like, well, don't y'all want to do that just for yourselves? And I think that they may pick that back up again now that my dad's home and well, because that was
That's pretty
something that they
awesome.
did, just them two, without us. Oh, cool.
I'm
Oh, I
trying to
want to
think.
go to this
I don't know
place.
that I have any child. I'm trying
Oh,
to. Isn't
you
that
do.
really bad? Honestly, I really don't have a lot. Oh, look,
Uh-oh.
we have a phone call. I can figure out how to answer this phone. It's an Android. I cannot deal with Androids. Okay, ladies, talk. You're live.
Ladies Talk, Miss Crystal, Dr. Love, how are you doing?
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, 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 hey.
We are so glad to hear you. Everybody's pumped up. Everybody's been kind of anticipating the call of Dr. Love. Does that make you feel nervous?
No, not at all. I hope you guys can hear me with my allergies. Good old Georgia boy with allergies here. Oh, I just slipped away where I was from.
Hey, it's okay. I have done very well with keeping your identity hidden, but if anyone figures it out, it's not my fault.
Well,
okay?
I know I sound like I'm from the Bronx or from the West Coast.
A
but
little
don't
bit
let that
right now,
fool you,
like
okay?
some Boston, Minnesota. I got a Minneapolis cold and it's rotten.
Well, let's say we kick off the first question you have here
All right.
that you sent me.
Yep, let's do that. I was really, as I've already said, but it was pretty overwhelming that we got so many questions, people that were just ready for this. So I appreciate you teaming up with us to
Well,
give us a little bit of advice here because, as women, we actually want advice. Not all the time, though.
Right.
But I
well,
had,
that's true, and that's when men need to know when to listen and when to just agree, whether you're listening or
I
not.
Yeah.
like this guy.
you should have seen
Yeah.
everybody's faces
Yeah,
light
right.
up. Even Doc slid up, and she's, yeah, okay. All right.
Oh, well, if Doc is lit up, then we're doing something right.
That's right. That's right. Okay, this particular person, I'm going to read this word for word, so everybody just bear with me.
Okay.
All right, it says she's engaged to this guy for 3 years. And she knew before that he was always the cheating kind. But however, she's known him for a very long time, and since she's known him, she just knew that she was in love with him from the start and she wanted to give him a chance. Besides, he told me I was everything that he was missing, and I would never have to worry about it being done to me. Well, fortunately, it has, and it's hard for me to leave. I guess my question is, why do men love the chase? And even though I still love him, should I go? And can he ever change? And why wasn't I enough? So there's
All
a
right.
lot of questions for you right there, and I know that's throwing it all out there, but
Well, at least she was honest about it, and she gave us enough information to kind of get a picture. Right out of the gate, you get a pretty good picture of what's going on here. First and foremost, she knows the guy, so they're friends. She knows he's the cheating kind, right? So what does that lead me to believe? Okay, she's like, and don't take this wrong, ladies out there, but she's like a lot of women. She's that bad boy excites her. So she knows that. She sees that. She's got that. She knows he's the bad boy. He's the cheating kind. So one right out of the gate would say, well, if you know that, why would you go after that? Because women always want a man they can change, and a man wants a woman that won't change. Okay, so she goes after the guy. She's giving him a chance. And she said everything that she needed to hear. She was the answer. Everything he was looking for. Boom. She was the total package. That puts her at ease, right? She's easy, no problem. But here's the deal. Apparently, he's cheating on her. And as we look at on the outside looking in, you would say, well, hey, that's expected. What were you thinking? You saw him to be a cheater. Did you really think you could change him? It kind of goes to the whole aspect of a leopard doesn't change his spots. Now, that's not true in all cases. There are people that can change. I mean, let's face it, we grow older and we mature. Now, I don't know the age of these people, and that could have something to do with it. But I also understand, excuse me, that from some conversations that she's a beautiful woman, and then one would ask, well, why would you do that? But beauty's in the eye of the beholder, first and foremost. Okay, so he doesn't see the gold that he has in front of him. He's already conquered that hill. That's a conquest for him.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, why does he chase? Well, that goes both ways. Men and women, we all chase. Here's the perspective you have to look at in a relationship, is you don't give a person a reason to go chase. What I tell people when they fall in love is to never forget why they fell in love, and they won't fall out of love. And that's what a lot of people forget. When people start dating, they put on their best, their shinest shoes. Everything is perfect to go out, and it's exciting. It's romantic. The guy's taking her to dinner, buying her flowers, opening the door. She's putting on lingerie. Everything is right. So they've been together for 3 years without knowing her. I would ask her, did she stop doing those things that she did to get him? That would be my first question. What has changed in the relationship? What has made him want to go elsewhere? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
right. Yep.
So that's kind of, putting that in a really fast perspective of what she's got. And I mean, right out of the gate, the first thing this young lady says is, I knew that he was a cheating kind. I mean, right there, you need to have your guard up. Now, can they get past this? Well, absolutely. But that might be the toughest thing that she's ever going to take on. Because to get past something like this, she's going to have a heart-to-heart conversation, and the trust is going to have to start all over. if they can't start the relationship with trust, which is going to be the toughest thing to do, she can't be second guessing him, can't be going through his wallet, can't be going through his notes, but he can't give her the reason to do that. But they have to be real about it. He can't be fake. He's got to be, if he really cares about her, he's got to be realistic. She's going to have to confront this. Now, if I were to look at this just on the surface and she says, should I stay or should I go? I'd ask her why she's still there.
Yeah. But are you
You know, I
saying?
mean, I hate to be that blunt about it, but just looking at what we have on the surface, then I would have to ask her that.
But are you saying that so when, a woman starts out, maybe that first year and a half, 2 years, and they're wearing the lingerie and they're wearing the makeup and fixing their hair, do they have to continue to do that for 50 years? I mean, I know you always have to swoon the one that you're with, but
Absolutely.
do you have to continue that type of swooning?
Yes. Because
Let me put it in a very old-fashioned perspective. A wise old man has expressed this. Him and his wife were driving down the road in the truck. Been married a long time, and all of a sudden, she wants a divorce. She's sitting in the passenger seat of the truck. He's sitting in the driver's seat, and he looks over and he says, "Why?" And she says, "You've changed." And he says, "No, I haven't." And she goes, "What do you mean?" He says, "I'm still sitting in the same place I was when we got together." So think about that. When they got together, where do you think she was sitting in that pickup
She
truck?
sat in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Right next to him.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'm not
I
saying
used
that
to love
everything is
trucks for
going
that
to be.
reason.
Yeah, I mean, they were great
Yes, they
for a lot.
were.
They still
For a
are
lot
for
of
me.
reasons.
They
For a
still
lot
are
of
for me.
reasons. Yep, yep.
But to answer your question, is no, it's not going to be the same as it was day one. It's just like when you buy a brand new car. You make sure you park it in the right places. You wash it all the time. You take care of it. You don't let people do things to it that are going to take anything away from its newness. But then 6 months, 8 months, 9 months later, you got door dings, you got this, you got that. But you still wash the car, right? I mean, you still take care of it. It's just not as new as it once was.
So basically, they should continue wearing the negligees and lingerie and stuff, but you just might have to change the
Well,
style up a little bit.
right. That's going to depend on the couple. It really depends on what floats your boat, what pops your top. I mean, believe it or not, a lot of guys could care less about lingerie. I mean, your underwear and their T-shirt and their hat.
Right.
I mean,
It's about them
that's
trying. About them trying.
right.
Like them coming home cooking your dinner.
But what
with
you're
a
saying
T-shirt
is
on.
like if you start off being this, don't
Right.
just all of a sudden
You
Stop
can't
it.
just stop
completely
it.
stop everything.
No, absolutely not. That's what kills relationships. I mean, absolutely. It's detrimental. But here's the thing about starting a relationship, and I tell everybody when they want to start dating, guys especially are nervous. They see a beautiful girl, they don't know they can't get her, that's a whole different topic. It's really a deep subject. It's really not that deep. It's very easy. You go up and you say hello to her. But you be yourself.
Confidence is sexy
Oh, absolutely.
in everybody's eyes.
Yes.
Whether you're trying to, I got a guy approaching you, or if you're trying to get a guy's attention, if you're confident, that's sexy. So, yes.
Well, and there's a big difference with for men, confidence and cocky, and with
Definitely.
women,
Most
confidence.
definitely. Yes.
And with women, confidence and bitchy. There's a big difference.
Or conceited.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing about this relationship, my guess, because she says he chased. I'm guessing he chased after someone. Well, somebody lit a fire under it. Somebody sparked an interest in him that she let get away. Now, I'm not blaming her. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. If the role was reversed, I'd be saying the same thing. But the thing is, you have to keep your relationship alive. The biggest fault in a relationship, okay, is the complacency. That's what kills a relationship. You get used to everything, and you just go home. You get on, whether it's the guy or the girl watching TV all day, eating a bag of chips, or drinking a 12-pack of beer, or whatever. You've got to have the best way to keep your relationship alive is a very simple 1 day a week thing. It's called date night.
Oh, we
I
have that.
encourage
Yes, we do
every
that.
okay. So you have a good relationship though, right?
I do.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Everybody that said they have date night and that I hear said they have a good relationship. Now, is that a solve all problems? By no means. Absolutely not, man. We get crazy stuff. Guys are crazy. Women are crazier. That's just the way life is.
Okay, then.
I have to
But
agree, though. I would
Yeah.
say that, oh, whatever, we're not crazier, but we are.
We are.
We are.
definitely.
We
Yeah,
are. We're a
we are.
different kind of
No.
crazy.
yeah, you're a whole different breed of crazy. Absolutely. You're women crazy. That's a whole different perspective on crazy.
Well,
You got to spell crazy with a K. With a K.
That's right. That's kind of like the guys that spell fat with a PH.
PhD. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, and that goes back to being beautiful. I mean, she may not realize how attractive she really is. I don't know what her confidence level is. She may have let him slip away. And again, I'm not trying to blame her because obviously if he stepped out, he took that upon himself.
Well, I think
Okay? He did that
sometimes,
all on his own.
yeah, sometimes what happens though is you get so very comfortable, in routine. And I know that they have a family and things like that, and they're busy like everybody. So, sometimes you get very comfortable and just so routine that you don't realize that things are slipping away. And
Mhm.
then once it's kind of slipped away, then you don't know what to do to get it
To
back.
get it back. Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
then there's that
Here-
awkwardness,
Well, that's true, but there's a big difference between being complacent and being comfortable. Okay, you
Mm.
can have a great relationship and be comfortable with one another. For example, you guys joke about it on the radio show all the time. Girls farting in front of a guy. Okay, that's not the thing you do on the first date. But when you get comfortable with somebody,
I do
Hey,
not do
deal with
that.
it.
I don't do it at
No,
all.
I do not do that. I have not gotten that comfortable. I'm just not going to do that. Maybe in my
Yeah, I'm
sleep, but I
sure.
don't want to hear about it.
Right? Exactly.
Right. But complacency, and I'm sure that the doctor there can agree. Complacency is a whole different animal. Complacency puts you in the ignore zone. You get beyond comfortable that you don't pay attention to your partner's needs, and you really don't even care
No,
about them.
I know when
you just
Scotty
think-
farts. I know it. I mean, I know it. I'm like, gosh, I can't believe I don't call him out on it. Most of the time he politely says, sorry about that. But I'm just saying.
Well, I would say from this young lady here that she did get complacent in a relationship, and he was still looking to have fire in his belly, and or they, let me put it this way, they didn't have it. Maybe he didn't come home and ask her to go out, but I can tell you it is a proven fact that date night is a huge winner for relationships.
Yeah, I didn't
Right.
have that
There-
in my first two marriages. And Kevin and I make it a point, whether we have money or not, we have date night once a week.
Well, here's
Whether-
the thing.
yeah.
Date night does not have to be a big
It
fancy
doesn't.
romantic
No,
candlelit
it
dinner.
doesn't.
It's where you put
You may just
everything
go-
else aside.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
you. And
It's
Jay.
your time, whether
Yes.
it's an hour, 2 hours, whatever. It's whether you want to go walk around the lake, go walk in the park. I don't care if it's going to the library or going to the Crystal. As long as it's time for you guys. That means no phone texting back
Yeah.
and forth.
Mhm.
All that stuff
Oh.
needs to be set aside.
Yeah, exactly,
you know,
Crystal. No
that-
phone.
No phone.
No
Crystal.
phone. No phone.
Well,
Kinda
see,
like-
And
Kind of like being
Tub-
on the field trip with me. No,
Tubby
no
and
phone.
I, we go to Snellville every Saturday, but we're around people.
That's still a date night, though.
Yeah, it's still a
Isn't it?
date night because
Well, I mean, we go.
Oh, you
and we,
have to be more. You got to watch the borderline on that because if you have too many people included in your date night, then that's not a date night. That's a night to go out and have fun and party.
It's kind of
and
like
hang
the
out.
hobby that they share.
Right. We
Right.
race slot cars on Saturday nights. We drag race. And then after that's over, it's usually me and him and maybe, one or two, three at the max, other couples that go out and have dinner.
Well, and that's great. You can go out and do that, but and it sounds like you guys do that, and that's a really special time for you guys, a bonding time because you both enjoy it, and that's cool. But the thing I would also be really curious about with this young lady, and this is another problem couples have, is they don't have time to have intimacy. Okay, how do you say intimacy?
Mm.
Sex, bottom line.
Yeah. You have to
And,
make.
The average, and women feel that it's their duty, and they don't like that. They don't want it to be made to feel that that's something they have to do. But on the flip side of that, men don't want to feel like they have to ask for it. So again,
yeah,
it's got to be a give and take. It's got to be an emotional. Even if you make time for it, you say, hey, Wednesday night's going to be our hump night.
So you can't
but not
schedule
just
it to
jump in
me.
a
That's
sack.
odd
You
to me.
cannot
I
schedule
can't.
it,
That's
no.
very odd.
Well, and I think
Well,
there are multiple
I
levels of
totally
intimacy.
Right, I totally understand who wants to schedule sex, but for the busy bodies that have to work around a schedule, that's what they have to do. I mean, and date night doesn't always mean sex night. You may have sex 3 times a week, but not on date night.
But if it
You know,
ends with a little bit of,
Yeah.
it's
all right.
Hey, the best night always ends. Yeah, or the morning or
or
the
the morning,
afternoon.
whatever, whatever.
But here's the thing for relationships as an average, and this is an average taken of married couples. Well, actually, they said not married couples. Let me retract that. Couples. An average intimate relationship that works between couples is sex 3 to 5 times a week. Now, some people go, "Holy cow, that's a lot." Not really.
I'm on the borderline
every
of a
other
divorce,
day.
so we have to say, like, I'm so sorry, I'm getting divorced. But my
But if
husband's
you
tired of
fall
me.
out, I would ask this. I mean, there's a lot of questions you have to ask this lady to find out exactly why this guy decided to go somewhere else. Now, if they were intimate 5 times a day and she's getting dressed up and yada yada yada, then the guy's just a scumbag. Okay, I mean, bottom line, he's a douchebag.
Right.
But
Right.
from what she's saying, it looks like they're not really on the same channel anymore. And one thing you have to understand: love, even though she may be madly in love with him, and he might actually be in love with her, that does not always equal compatibility.
Nope.
Okay,
Exactly.
Absolutely
No.
not.
they might wind up being the best of friends if they can get past this, but
Mhm.
never be lovers. And then again, you have some people that are lovers only, and the minute they move in together or get into an intimate relationship, even though they had the greatest sex, they hate each other. They don't want to be around each other. It's just they're better off to date and see each other once in a while, have great sex, and go about their way. But with her, there's a lot of questions really to be asked. But I would tell her, from what she's saying, she should have had her bags packed a little while ago.
Well, that right there is your answer. I know that she is a person who is extremely private about her business. So I was just honored, I guess is the word, that she was willing to open up and ask this. And I know that she's not alone is my thing, because there's most likely someone else out there listening going through what she's going through, or at least parts of it.
Mhm.
I have gone
And
through.
there's
I've
men
gone
and
through it.
women that go through it.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yep.
men
It's
and
from
women go
both
through it.
sides. Yep.
But here's the important part for anybody and everybody listening out there. Don't take just the last sentence I said, have your bags packed. Take everything that I said. There's some questions that you need to ask yourself before you leave.
Right.
Make sure you check those off before you bail out, because once you bail out, it's not a swinging door. You don't want that relationship.
Mm-mm.
That's not the
No.
relationship you want.
So basically, what you're saying is, number one, you need to ask yourself, what have, and we all do this. We always blame ourselves anyway, especially if it's a cheating situation.
I
Absolutely.
wanted to touch on
Absolutely.
that because she
Because
said
I
that.
always, I went through a relationship. I was married for 9 years really, and basically, I went through this, and the whole time I was dealing with him cheating on me, and every single time it came back as if it was my fault. I was
Right.
the crazy
Mhm.
one. I wasn't doing this or I wasn't doing that, and I almost tried too hard. It got to where I was just like giving it my all. And the moral of my story is he turned out, I mean, we're friends. And if he was listening now, I know he would even agree and back me up on this, because we've had the conversation since the divorce. He had a problem. One woman was just never enough for
Enough.
him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now he is a lonely person, and that's just the way it is. And he always had to have somebody on the side. I mean, always. And he most of the time it was more than one. And I think
Well, with
he'll
that,
always be that person.
right, and with that, and it's more women than men, but even men, when you have somebody cheat on you and you keep letting them back in, that's because you're trying to gratify yourself as being good enough.
Yep.
You want to win that
Yes.
person over again and over again, and you're trying to prove that you're good enough.
Just to
Because
yourself.
in your mind,
Yeah.
right,
Just to
you've
yourself.
degraded yourself. Yeah, you've degraded yourself,
Mhm.
and you think, oh my God, I'm not good. I'm not good for anybody. And that's not, and everybody does that, and that is the thing you don't want to do. but do ask yourself those other questions. Is there anything I could have? I mean, you've got to ask yourself first, what could I have done different?
Yep, and then I
The
feel like
answer
you
is
have to
nothing.
set limits, you have to draw lines, and you
Yes.
have to determine exactly how much are you going to put up with. Whether you're a guy or a girl. I mean, you get what you settle
Absolutely.
for. You get what you settle for, and I've told my kids that,
Don't
you
ever
know,
settle.
don't never
Never
settle.
Never
settle.
settle.
Yep.
If you're in a relationship at any point and you feel like you're settling, you're in the wrong relationship. I don't
Absolutely.
care if you're a man or a woman.
And I
You
know
should not feel like you're settling. You should feel like that person puts you first and foremost in their life in every way.
and see, Scotty and I feel like we complement each other. I mean, he strengthens my weaknesses and I feel like I strengthen his weaknesses, and we're far from perfect because nobody is. But I also feel like there's nothing that we can't get through together.
Mhm.
So I absolutely love our relationship, especially because of everything else I've already gone through. But yeah, you definitely don't just settle. But I also know with this particular person, she's already walked away. Okay, they were
Oh, she
engaged.
has. Okay.
Well, they were engaged for 3 years, and she had walked away and got her own place and everything. Okay, and she's back. And
Well,
she's been back for a minute, and it has caused her more problems than what she already had because, once you lose that trust with someone, I know you've all heard this, like it's like taking aluminum foil and wadding it all
mhm.
up and then trying to straighten it out again. And
Yes.
now here she is trying to straighten this, hoping this will work. Well, her whole family, not her whole family, but her children, they're not really happy about her doing this. So now she's dealing with that aspect of it too. But anyway, um, yeah, I mean, it's the trust factor because now will she ever feel comfortable to stop looking at his phone or stop feeling
No,
like
I
she's
think
got to check everything?
I honestly think once you're at that point, there's no turning back.
Right. There's
Yeah.
no
There's
turning
no turning
back.
Absolutely. If you have to do that with a person you're in a relationship with, you're in the wrong relationship,
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
regardless of what the case is.
I agree too.
You
And
you cannot live your life that way.
No.
That is not happiness.
yep. And that's pretty much, I did not go into a whole lot of detail with her because I know I wanted her to listen to the show and I knew I was praying that she would get something out of it without a doubt. But I did want to say that, and I don't mean to put so much of her business out there, but I wanted to give you, Dr. Love, a little bit of more perspective so that you kind of know what you're dealing with. She has already walked away and she's back, and now she's trying to make this work. And she is extremely depressed and she's very unhappy. And
Mhm.
it's, in my opinion, from the little bit I know, because I know as much as you all do, I feel like, if it's still not working and you're still insecure in this relationship, I'm sorry, but life is too short and way too precious to live
Absolutely.
like that.
Walk away.
Well, in her last question, her last question really stuck with me when she said, "Why am I not enough?"
I know. I mean, it hurt my
And
heart.
it hurt my heart because, as a woman, we are constantly comparing ourselves to each other. We're constantly comparing ourselves to how we were raised. We're comparing ourselves to other relationships that we see. And, if she's listening, I just want her to hear from me. You are enough. It's kind of like when you're trying to line up grooves in a pattern. It's not saying that the pattern is off. It's just that your groove didn't line up.
Yep.
You are enough.
Well, to that for her, and hopefully she's listening, I'm going to say this. Why wasn't I enough? It was not that she wasn't enough, obviously, because he was a cheater to start with. He cheated
Mhm.
on her. He's going to cheat on the girl he's with, most likely. That doesn't, like I said, a leopard doesn't change its spots. The only person that's going to make her happy, first and foremost, she needs to make herself happy. She needs to get away from this disastrous relationship. She needs to go spend time with her family, get herself on track, make herself happy, and then let life start all over for her.
That's right.
Yes.
I totally agree. I think that your advice was on point. And I mean, I don't know that I could have said any of that any better myself. Now, ultimately, we all know that the one person that has to make those decisions is her. I mean,
Mhm.
we all have to make our own choices, and it's not our place to persuade you anyway, one way or another. But I hope that you got some good
You
out of
are
this.
enough.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
are
you are
enough.
enough. And it's the relationship itself that wasn't enough.
Yep.
Right. Right.
and that's no one's fault.
And I can just tell you, I'm a living testimony that you will get through that, and there's
absolutely me
most
too.
likely something amazing around the corner. You just
It took me 20
Yes.
years and 2 marriages to find it.
Yep. I don't even want to talk about how many
Well,
marriages, but anyway.
Yeah.
well, the number of marriages is irrelevant. That's just the times you keep trying until you get it right. So
I
Right.
don't
just
worry about
refuse
that.
to settle. That's what I always say.
Right.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah,
Me too,
don't
Crystal.
settle, and trust me, young lady. Whatever you think your relationship is, people have gone through far worse and come out much better, and you can do it too.
That's right.
That's
I
right.
like
That's
that.
right.
That's a
I
very
like
good
that.
answer.
And we appreciate you so much for calling. Everybody say
Yes.
thank you to Dr.
Thank you,
Love.
Thank
Dr.
you,
Love.
Love.
Thank you,
Well,
Dr.
thank you,
Love.
ladies.
We
You
appreciate
ladies have a
you.
wonderful evening.
I hope you'll join us
Thank you
again
so
next
much.
Thursday, and we will be talking to you soon.
Look forward to it.
All
Have a
All
good
right.
evening.
Good
Good
night.
evening.
Good night.
Bye.
Night.
I was trying to hang up the phone with my phone.
That don't work.
That don't work.
So how
Oh.
awesome was that? I really enjoyed that. And
I
That
did
was
too.
awesome.
That
I
was
like
great.
that
And
segment.
he absolutely had some great answers.
Yep.
He
And
did.
the thing about it is, a lot of times it's life that teaches us these. Life is what teaches us. That's where we get all of our knowledge from. And I never would have known at 22 or
Right.
24 or
Exactly.
25 the things
Exactly.
that I know now. And I know that, like, whenever we're young and we hear, middle-aged people or mature people say
Mhm.
that, we completely don't understand because we're like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, life will teach you
It
things.
will. Absolutely.
And, and something when Benny and I, and Crystal and Scotty were very instrumental in Benny and I navigating through the first, I guess the first few months of us living together because, and that's why when you are in a relationship, you have to have like-minded couples around you.
Absolutely.
If all the couples around you
Are having problems.
are
you're
having
gonna have
problems,
it.
you're going to have even more
Yeah.
problems.
It's kind of like the married couple hanging out with the single people.
Yep.
Yes,
You
You
just
can't
don't
can't
do
do
it.
it.
No,
No.
you
Yeah.
can't do it. You just,
Yeah.
it's just not healthy for your relationship. So, but everybody who's listening, feel free to go to the Ladies Talk page, or you can, if you know any of us personally, and there's something that you would like for Dr. Love to communicate on next week's show,
Just
please
text
feel
us.
free to text
Yeah.
us, and we will send him an email, and hopefully it'll be your question that he answers. Now we're on a time frame, so make sure if you want your question to be answered, you go ahead and get it in because, like I said, there were several people hit me up today, and we had to just choose one and go with it. So again, special thank you to him. Thank you, ladies, all for joining us or joining me. I keep saying us like I got a mouse in my pocket. It's me and Grandma, maybe. I don't even
It
know.
is. It definitely is.
It definitely is.
We're gonna wrap the show up as close to on time as we can because I know Shelby has school tomorrow and Lizayle's
Oh,
up there
actually,
playing.
she doesn't have school on Fridays.
Oh, she don't?
No.
Yay! I wish I
Ooh.
didn't have to work on Fridays.
It's
You used to didn't.
Yeah.
it's a Monday through
That
Thursday
was the
type deal
doctor
for.
that just said you used to didn't. Did you hear that? You
She's
used
been
to
hanging out with
didn't.
me way too long.
I love you, Doc.
Way too
I love
long.
you.
Way too long. Way too long. You're gonna have to look. You have to not hang out with the redneck Southern girls too much.
Yeah.
Hey, I
Used to
like
could.
I love my
Used to
redneck
could.
Southern girls.
And
Hey,
we
y'all
love
watch
you.
this.
That's right. Hey, y'all watch this.
But this has been an awesome show. I've had like an amazing time. I know that the Just for Fun crew, there's a lot of people gathering and tubing down the Yellow River.
I will be there. I just found out today. Yay!
You're gonna be there?
Yes.
So everybody take some pictures and everything because I'll be at work. But me and Ashley Skinner have already made a date. So anybody who wants to join me in the pool after the play, I said, well, whenever y'all get off the river, honey, we'll be up here floating in the pool, probably with cold ones in hand because
Right.
I'm not trying to catch them on the river when I get off work.
I think that we may, Kevin and I may paddle up from Porterdale and meet y'all because he has to work till noon. So we may paddle up and just kind of wait for you guys to come down and then we'll do the rest of it with you.
I'm sure that's going to be a really, really good time. If you need more information, simply visit any of our pages. Really, we've
Yes.
all been sharing. It's called
The dog paddle.
The dog
the
paddle.
dog paddle. And this is hopefully going to be something that's going to be annual, and it'll be a lot of fun. Without a doubt, it'll be a lot of fun. So everybody make plans to join everybody for that. Outside of that, I'm trying to think of any other special events we have going on.
Well, we've got the Pink Pooch Parade coming up in October,
Yeah.
and vendor space is available. So
Uh-uh.
if you want to be a vendor,
And if you have not had the opportunity to experience the Pink Pooch Parade,
You
this will be
need
the year to do it. This is the
Yes.
third or fourth year.
I think it's the third
I
year.
haven't done it. I've
Oh my
Oh,
God,
you gotta
you,
do
you
it.
got to
will be
do
there.
it.
Even if you do not have a pooch.
I do have.
But they it's so much fun because they pink the pooches all up if you want to, or they doll everybody dolls their dogs
Mhm.
up or gets them all dressed up and snazzy, and there's a little cute parade. And I'm assuming it's going to be in the same place, but I'm not going to throw out the location because I'm not positive.
It's in Old Town this year, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh, Alabama May would love that.
it's Alabama Maze. That's your dog's
Alabama
name.
May.
Alabama May.
See, I haven't taken Bella yet. We just dressed Azalea up and took her. And no, she's not my dog.
Well, there you go.
But we
Plan
did
it,
not
'cause
take
I'm not sure
Bella
about-
because I'm not too sure about.
I'm not too sure about Bama, but
Yeah, Bella's kind of a big dog, and she's old, so she's
It
Bama's
might be
14,
overwhelming
yeah.
for Bella.
yeah.
yeah. Bella will be like, "Can you just take me back home?" She'll
I
probably
don't like
poop.
people.
She'll poop and pee everywhere.
Just put me back on the bus where it's cold. Okay.
Yes, that's
It's
exactly.
hot out here.
Yep. But anyway, there you go. And of course, Just for Fun Radio, the morning show will be live tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. So you all please do make plans to listen into the morning show. Back Monday through Friday, of course. And then Monday, you got Military Mike. Tuesday, you can listen to Highway Jack with Angry American. Wednesday, you got The Guru, and he's up and running again, right?
Yes. He had an
Yes.
awesome show last night.
Awesome.
Loved it.
Yep. So tune in to The Guru on Wednesday nights. And then, of course, join us back. The best show of all, Ladies Talk,
That's
Thursday nights.
right.
Okay, I'm sorry to all my other co-hosts because I'm sure they're going, yeah, whatever.
No, I'm hoping to come back more often.
You need to, Nikki.
Oh,
You
very
really do.
cool.
You really
Yeah.
do. We need to she's already got a name. I mean, Nikki, I established, Christine established Nikki Styles for
Christine
her
did.
without
Oh.
even.
Christine.
Christine did.
Yeah, I
okay.
think that was the night when it was down the hall to the left.
Oh my gosh, I'll never live that down. It's really funny though because I didn't even remember it till the next day. So it's really good whenever the hubby hands you the phone. I'm still laying in the bed. He mashes play
Hey, watch
and
this.
he walks out of the bedroom. And I'm going, why are you doing this? And I start watching it. I'm like, holy
that
hell.
did not happen. You
Oh, yeah.
staged
I
that.
was
It was
all
all
I
caught.
could do is a group text to everybody that was here that night.
Say, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm very sorry. I don't even know who that person was.
That was Mardi
Christine.
Gras night, wasn't it?
Huh?
That was when we all went to Mardi Gras that night? Or was that a different
Yeah,
night?
at the green room.
Yep.
I'm quite sure that I motorboated Nikki and we twerked and it was so bad. Like it was in the studio bad. I mean, it was like really bad. Oh my god.
Sounds like a good time to me.
It was a very
it
good
was
time.
a very good
I
time.
say it was bad, but we did bad all by ourselves.
Yeah.
Because the next day everybody was like, "We like that takeover."
It's
you
gonna happen
did.
I
again.
bet you did.
Yeah, but we did not have camera back then. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. There was no camera.
I think
so-
if there ever is another takeover, there probably shouldn't be.
there should not be
There
any
should never be
YouTube feed.
cameras.
Right.
No.
Yeah,
I'm just
no.
gonna go ahead and tell y'all, if Christine is in the picture, please don't let me take anything over. Nothing live. I'm saying this because I will need you all to have my back
Right.
on that. I'm just saying, whew, she's awful. She is awful. That's
She's
what I've
fun.
heard. She is
Yeah,
fun.
Christine is a lot of fun, though.
Yep. I've heard.
Yeah.
I've
yeah.
I
seen it
guess
on
I
video.
guess mine would be Melissa, and I've heard that she's a lot of fun. But oh my goodness,
Well, we'll just have to get all our alter egos
Oh, I
together
don't
and
know.
go out sometime.
Well,
with
my
us.
alter ego is Ashley, and she's not that nice.
she's not
Oh,
nice. She's
no.
not nice.
Was Ashley here that night? Nikki, I mean, I'm quite sure she was.
She would have to been.
Well,
After all we had to drink that night, Ashley had to be alone
yeah.
because we had gone to the Mexican restaurant
And then, the
and then
green
we went
room.
to the green room, and I don't even know how much we had to drink there. Last thing
But
I
they
remember
did
is
not
It was
drive.
it was a lot. It was
no,
a
we
lot.
had driver. Scotty is always the God, I love him. He is our designated driver for everything. I never
he
drive. You
is.
won't have to worry about me driving and drinking. I got too much to lose for that.
That's right.
I ain't sitting in a jail cell.
I'm too pretty for that.
Orange is
Right?
orange is not my color.
Mm-mm.
It is just not my color. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining Ladies Talk. Y'all go tell somebody how great it was and make sure to meet us back here next Thursday. Thank you so much.
And we're out.
Bye.
We're out. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I hear Shelby. She's she's got a very distinctive laugh.
She is.
She is.
She's just a lot taller than she was last.
Yeah, it's been a year since I saw her, since we did the very first ladies talk.
Mhm.
I know. Nikki needs to get out more.
I know. I'm gonna have to do it a lot more now.
Should I make it happen?
Yes.
Let me go ahead and log myself off so you don't tag me because he will hack.
We are gonna make it happen.
You're gonna make it
We're
happen.
gonna make it happen.
I went ahead and shared the
Good.
on there. This is Johnny Cash.
I made Kevin listen to it the other day. No, that's Crystal and Scotty's song.
Oh.
You should have. That ain't our song. We have danced to it in the kitchen.
Yeah, but do like me and Kevin. We dance everywhere. Like when anything good comes on, we're dancing.
In the living room.
That's what I used to love about the social house. We could go there and dance. Yeah, but they have the bands now, so there's not anywhere to like really.
Dance. You've never been there.
Oh my god.
I haven't been to the social house. I was there when no. Yeah.
The crowd has changed a little bit.
Crowd has changed a lot.
Right.
And I don't mean that bad.
No, you
But,
just,
you know,
it's
like
hard
for
to find other
special
babies.
Right.
events